Howdy, everybody, and welcome to Season 3 of the Faab Five campaign here on the Random Rhapsody Network. I'm Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and GM, and joining me around my virtual table today are Alyssa, Joe, Jeremy, Koines, and Kyle. Say hi, everyone.
Howdy.
Now, before we begin, I have a few announcements to get through, starting with the first of our two sponsors for tonight's show, Hero Forge. Hero Forge offers fully customizable tabletop miniatures with dozens of fantasy species and thousands of parts to choose from. Their easy-to-design tools let you build your perfect miniature online using a fully 3D in-depth character creator right from your web browser, which is actually where we built the tokens that we're going to be using for Season 3. Hero Forge also offers customizable minis in a variety of materials, including color-printed options and downloadable models for 3D printers. They are constantly expanding the catalog of customization options, and they add in new parts every week and major features like new species and custom posing on a regular basis. You can check them out at heroforge.com. Our second sponsor for tonight's show is XSplit. XSplit is a high-quality virtual webcam background remover that works with your already existing webcam. Using this program, you can protect your privacy while you work and play remotely. You can blur, remove the background entirely, or even put your favorite picture as a black background instead, which is what a lot of us have. XSplit can even be used as a broadcaster for content creation. You can download the app today at xsplit.com, and if you use the coupon code RANDOM at checkout, you can get 10% off of your purchase. You can find the referral link in chat and in the show description. Last but not least, we have the very first episode of our newest series, Sonnet of Blood, a Curse of Strahd campaign, airing this Wednesday, April the 12th at 6 p.m. Central Time. As its name suggests, the series is kind of a love letter to not only Curse of Strahd, but one of my favorite video game series of all time, Castlevania. So be sure to stop by and hang out with us for that as well. Now you can keep up to date on our schedule and everything we're doing by following us on Facebook as Random Rhapsody TV and on Twitter as @random_Rhapsody. Okay, that should do it for the announcements. So join us as we dive into the world of Loroupa and continue on with the adventures of the Faab Five. And we're back. So when we last left off, the Faab Five had charged into the heart cavity of Ambar Belthor and had received a brutal smackdown in return. During their first few rounds of combat, the team was swarmed with stinging insects, blasted with ice and lightning, and they even witnessed a drow sorceress transform herself into a giant flying spider. As the battle waged on, the squad managed to push the enemies towards the back of the chamber as they finished off the drow one by one. This caused the necromancer to cast a vicious spell that smashed through the ceiling and the center column containing the heart and sent its crystalline core hurtling to the floor. She then entreated Veil to collect that crystal and to join her in the glory of Loth. The necromancer at first seemed to do exactly that, ordering his zombie to pick up the shard and then come to him so he could dimension door them both over to the spider. This action caused Eloise to call out to her friend in alarm, while the rest of the team fought to get closer through the giant swarm of wasps that the necromancer had summoned. In the end, however, Necthros Veil had a change of heart and disintegrated the witch entirely with one of his powerful spells. Unfortunately, at this point, the chamber was also starting to crumble down around them all. And so, Faab Five, with that chamber and the ceiling coming down all around you, Alnad called out to everyone to clear out, and you are all forced to flee out of Ambar Belthor before the entire creature collapsed in on itself. To assist in this matter, Own quite literally punched a hole through the creature's teeth to make an opening for you all to jump through and escape. Now, since it was near the 4-hour mark, you all retreated to the outskirts of the Cursed Land to rejoin the Conclave and Elven Caravan and report on your mission. So as evening descends and you all relax for probably the first time in a good 24 hours, a question comes to each of your minds. And this question is a little bit meta, but what either television, book, or video game type character would your character, be best friends with? Or alternatively, what media character is your character the most influenced by or similar to? And Liam, since you're the one who rolled, why don't you go ahead and go first?
Right, well, I thought about this for a while. I think the person I'd get along with best would be Wolverine from the X-Men. Now, that's a man who likes to have a good drink, and I don't think he'd bother me too much with inane chit-chat.
Yeah. Or at least until you transformed for the first time and he mistook you for Sabretooth.
Fitting end.
Yeah, I like it.
Liam getting along with another Canadian? What?
Oh, fair point.
I get along with Canadians? What's that mean?
Well, you know what? Eloise, since you spoke up, why don't you go ahead and go next?
I mean, I can find some way to get along with most people, but I think I get along best with that hot-headed, foul-mouthed one from the Witcher series, Lambert. Whether the ginger one or the one with the extreme widow's peak doesn't really matter. I think he'd be my best friend.
I'm not sure how to take that one, but yeah, absolutely. I don't think anybody ever dislikes Eloise.
Here we were going for the cute and cuddly.
Yeah.
And she went 180 on us.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, Blood from a Stone. How about you?
You know, I don't know. It would definitely be one of the anti-heroes. You know what I'm saying? Just someone who fucks up a lot too, but also does some good. I mean, I could see it being like, Oliver Queen, or fucking, Daredevil. Like, he tries to do his best, but a lot of times he does fuck up things on the time. Just somebody who likes to stick in the shadows and, do what they can from there. Don't like bringing themselves into the light.
Okay. I like it. Apollyon, how about you?
Well, I guess for mine, I'd have to say I'd want to hang out with my favorite couple, Legolas and Gimli. They're just so darn cute, and we could be such a good adventuring party, keeping our kill counts high, teamwork, lots of complaining.
No, that's valid. That's absolutely valid.
And a great cuddle puddle every night in the tent.
Wow. I guess I could be the Aragorn in that situation, then the one that's just like, God damn it. Gotta deal with this shit. Children. Gotta deal with this children.
Yeah, so Blood from a Stone just actively joined the cuddle puddle. Love
Oh
it.
no!
Oh,
He's
yeah.
sleeping up in the tree watching. He ain't doing nothing of that.
Necthros Veil,
Too much
how about
hair.
you?
I would have to say Vale would be best friends with Rick Sanchez.
Okay.
They have a lot in
Okay.
common as far as knowledge and the complete lack of, old Vale, I should say, the complete lack of compassion towards anybody else.
Oh, it was choked on my drink. It's perfect.
God damn it, Vale, always raising people up from the dead and shit.
It's too perfect.
Love it. Okay, well, I mean, if I was going to think which character I would like the most, or who's most like
The
me, I
Wizard of
suppose,
Oz.
yeah. Actually, well, that's not a bad one, but I was more thinking Doctor Who.
Which one?
Oh, Sylvester McCoy, without a doubt. just that irate kind of persnickety, but likes to fuck with you. Yeah, that's Sylvester McCoy.
Maybe the architect character from The Matrix, but it didn't suck as a storyline. That guy.
There you go. Or just the narrator from what's that show? The Truman Show. Remember that? The director? Yeah.
Ed something. So, yeah.
Anyway.
I know you're talking about that. It's a good one.
Well, Faab Five. Like I said, you've arrived back at the caravan of both the Conclave and the Elven Nation. Your arrival and Alnad's or your entire group presented them with the crystalline heart that you guys grabbed, and it's a huge clamor over this thing. Instantly, both the elves and the Conclave members want to examine the thing and start studying it. And you watch Ohm kind of just chuckling a little bit as it goes off. And from that point on, it's like Alnad gives his report. Your group has to give your report to Ohm. Then both groups kind of come together and begin questioning you all, asking a lot of the experiences down there, what happened, that sort of thing. Alnad, of course, gives a very, very literal, what's the word I'm looking for? Explanation of what happened down there. I don't know how much any of you ever plan on kind of contradicting it, but Alnad does present Vale in a heroic sense. He actually, when he explains what Val did, he basically words it in a way that Vale's put himself up in the line of danger to subvert the Drow, kill its leader, and make off with this strange artifact that the Drow were clearly trying to gather. So that's kind of the way he sells it. And you all do hear him as he explains this. So I assume nobody contradicts this. But if you want to, feel free.
Nope.
A little while later, your group is together at a fire. Ohm is there. A couple other Conclave members are there. They've broken out some moderately decent whiskey and is kind of passing it around. And Ohm, for the most part, spends his time trying to question anybody who will actually interact with them about further details, things you might have missed. He tries to get you to retell your story from different angles and that sort of thing, trying to find those little details that you might have omitted just from a first telling, that sort of thing. But apart from that, the evening itself is yours, so is is there anything y'all want to do this evening, Fab Five?
Yeah, real quick. So after being questioned a lot, Liam has a couple questions he wanted to ask as well. And so he looks over at Ohm. Master, it's quite fun to act like I understand what all the hubbub is about and be part of the celebration and all, but do they worship this gem? I don't understand what the big deal is.
You're asking, does who worship the gem?
The elves! They seem to think it's such a great thing once we pulled it out. It's just a gem. Like, I've seen gems before. Is it special?
Well, that's what we're trying to determine, to be perfectly honest. The elves, they're excited because the simple fact is your group dealt a very massive blow to the Drow military complex by stopping them, by killing a huge force, and by taking something from them that they're obviously trying to gather. Now, our people and the elves together are going to be studying that gem and trying to ascertain exactly what it does and hopefully why the Drow were wanting to collect it. As of right now, it's a mystery. It's putting off a lot of magic. But apart from that, like we really don't have a whole lot of details just yet.
It's just a relief every once in a while to know other people are just as confused as I am.
He kind of claps you on the back a little bit and chuckles and picks up his bottle of whiskey and kind of pours some for you.
Chibi. Drinking with Master Ohm.
Yeah. He'll spend some time kind of just chatting with you, telling you a little bit about what the plans are for at least the immediate future. Both the elves and the Conclave members, there's going to be more excursions into the Cursed Land to see, what all has happened since you all ran out. They kind of have the idea of sending you back in if you're wanting to scope out the area itself. But he also understands that you might need a day to recover, so some other Conclave members will be sent in the morning.
Yeah, I think we softened them up quite a bit. There weren't anyone left standing in any of the rooms that we went to, but they seem to have easy access to get in there from besides the way that we got in and out. So there's no telling. They'll probably be back, most likely. Just like you, they want what was ever in there, and I think they'll be back.
Yeah, we didn't go down through the intestine to get out. I think that's how they got in.
Based on
So
the
who knows?
reports, yeah, that's probably accurate.
We do have a bunch of seemingly somewhat magical stuff that we got from those crates that we can have somebody look at.
Yeah, Vale could identify those.
I know. I mean, I got all the stuff that we got from the bodies and the crates. We had some leather boots, iron helmet with brass filigree, 2 suits of leather armor, chain shirt, 3 short swords, 2 short bows, 4 daggers, the vials and stuff that we'd got. But then there was the black lance that I think the Imperator was carrying.
Yeah.
Ornate boots, a dagger, a breastplate, a couple of hand axes, 2 short swords, and 4 daggers was the stuff we got out of those boxes. And then the stuff we took off of him.
Yeah. Where's everything written down at?
I've got it in Blood's bag of holding down at the very bottom.
Okay.
And then that second set of stuff is the stuff we took off those last drow. We killed the regular guys that I was going to get a crate to put into Vale's bag of holding for his zombies when they start being able to use stuff, or if we get skeletons or something, they can use bows.
Oh, Vale, sorry we had to leave your buddies behind. I'm sure we'll get some more for you.
So Vale, nods to Liam and says, we left 14 bodies behind, but he pats his pocket where the portable hole is, and he says, "There's 19 more in here."
Snap. Fair enough.
Okay, where did you say you put the?
Hold on, I'll do the stuff that we pulled out of the. It's at the very bottom of Blood's bag of holding.
I see 5 short swords with drow poison.
There's
7
stuff a
hand
little above it that's for some reason it gets blacked out. Like if you drag across it, I don't know what the hell.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
And then I'm outlaying some of it in fucking yellow. That's
Okay.
the stuff I think we took off of him, and then the stuff that was in those boxes. And then I figured the armor,
Yeah.
the chain shirt. I mean,
Yeah,
unless you want to make all
most
that
of it.
magical.
Well, most of the stuff is what you pulled out from the boxes. So
Yeah.
There you go.
Let's-
I fixed the highlighter for you.
Oh, cool. Okay,
Yeah,
so let's see here.
I don't know how it went from a or transparent background to whatever it ended
Yeah,
up
I don't
being.
know. That was weird. But I fixed it. Is all this inventory in here like correct?
Yep.
Like the
Well,
other stuff?
some of it's Blood's personal shit. That
Okay.
I just
The boots.
like if you got a question, I'll tell you what it is.
The boots are boots of the Winterlands. The helmet is a helm of telepathy.
Ooh.
The 2 suits of leather armor are just +1. The chain shirt is a +2. The 3 short swords, the 2 short bows, and the 4 daggers are all +1s. Now, this is where it gets fun.
It's not another, perhaps, boots of elven kind for a certain white-scaled dragonborn?
Oh, you're talking about the ornate boots? Yeah, those are actually boots of elven kind.
Ha ha ha! There we go, Eloise!
But I like my flying boots.
Yeah, she's
God
got winged
damn it, I
boots.
forgot. Shit! It's like, alright.
Can't you
I
wear
think-
one of each? Is that not work?
The breastplate is a +2 breastplate of acid resistance.
Ooh. Yeah, I guess it should be.
The dagger is a +3 dagger. That's
Wow.
the one that the guy was carrying.
You want that as a souvenir?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have it. I got his ring.
What about the lance?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what's that?
That's the next one I'm pulling up.
Two suits. Oops.
I'm going to give you a handout for this one because it's complicated.
How do you get +3 dagger? How do you add that to your character sheet from the?
Yeah, go to dagger. Like when you do look for an inventory,
okay.
it should have +1, +2, and then just drag and drop. Yeah,
Okay.
or
I
just
assume- yeah.
just do a dagger and just change its stats.
No, I'll do it this way. It's
Boots of the Winterland. That was a helm of telepathy, right?
Yeah, helm of telepathy.
Alright, I'm just changing on that list. Ornate boots are now boots of Elvenkind. Well, I mean, does Liam want a set of boots of Elvenkind to give you advantage on stealth?
Are they non-attunement?
They are not attuned.
Yeah, I can take those.
Because all right, so Veil's taking the +3 daggers. We'll take that off the list.
Oh, the item I was going to ask about is you had a potion of speed in there. Do you want that?
Oh, I used it. I just didn't fucking delete it.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah,
I just used mine in that last battle too.
I did
so
too. So yeah, I just forgot to erase it.
That's okay. That's something we can purchase. I mean, all of us have like 10 and 20,000 gold, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've got 18.5 left over.
I subtracted the 1,000 from mine for that bet.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I took that off my regular sheet because I didn't take it off my gold winnings. But yeah, well, we'll figure out a way what to do with that because blood.
Well,
doesn't
you
really...
won, so you should add 2,000 to yours.
He doesn't fucking need that. We'll figure a way for the group to use it.
Well, just add it to yours for now, so it's recorded, so it doesn't just disappear.
Oh, I've got it listed. The 3,000 gold total for a bet.
Okay.
Was that all of the magic items?
Well, there's. He's getting a lance. He said.
Oh, okay.
Were the hand axes +1 as well? Yeah, I think they were.
So Veil's going to before all this, he's gonna. I threw it up here. The find familiar, so we can get Jareth back.
It's ironic. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, he's also while everyone's around the fire and he sees Liam talking to Olm, and when there's a break in the conversation, he's gonna kind of saunter up to him and just kind of with his head hung down low, looking at Liam and saying, "Hey, buddy, I'm sorry for everything." And he kind of holds an empty glass, empty wooden cup towards Liam and says, "Do you mind if I have some of that?"
Oh, abso-freaking-lutely! And imitating one of Ohm's back slaps, he slaps you a little too excitedly and too hard. But yeah, he absolutely pours you a glass.
And this will be one of Veil's. I don't think he's ever drank before, so this will be his drink.
You should probably make a save if it's your first drink and it's hard liquor.
Con save.
Yeah, I think it'd be a con save.
All right, hold on.
Yep, that would be a con save.
And you took those boots of Elvenkind, right, Liam?
Yeah, I put them on my sheet.
Taking that off the list. All right, so we got some shit to sell too if we ever need to.
Ooh, that's a 20. Must be some good stuff.
So it burns, I assume, but you take it.
Yeah,
This
so
is
I mean, you take your shot and it does burn. It's pretty rough, but you've had some liquor before in your life, and it's not nearly as potent as that stuff they make in the Underdark using spider venom as a base. So you take your drink like a champ.
I imagine Veil drinking like Legolas does. He just barely gingerly holds the cup with the tips of his fingers, and dunks it back.
And after he's had 40 of them, he's like, I think I feel something in my pinky.
Yeah, exactly.
It's ironic we found a breastplate of acid resistance in a pool of acid. Didn't help that guy much.
No.
Well, this is a
It
nice
wasn't
little,
a wetsuit of acid resistance.
nice little haul of stuff we could sell. Wish those boots. I'd take the boots of the Winterland if they weren't attunement, but they're attunement.
I mean, if nobody wants the +1 hand axes, I'll take those.
Nope, go ahead.
Sweet.
Yeah, you just throw those if you needed to.
Yeah, those are quick chuck.
Like I said, if we could put any of this gear on your zombies, like the armor, they could probably wear leather armor, couldn't they? Give them a boost to their AC a little bit, or
That would be up to Matt. I thought we discussed it before, but I don't
We
know.
have discussed it before. I don't.
Yeah.
You would
I
get the
think it would just-
proficiency bonus, so whatever
Yeah.
the bonus is minus the proficiency bonus, right?
Yeah.
It would just be regular armor.
So basically, it would just be you get a 1 addition to your AC. But it takes it from an 8 to a 9, so that's something. Oh wait a minute, it would be a 2. It would be a 2 technically because it's a +1, so it would be they would be 10 instead of 8.
Nice.
10. But yeah, you could.
I guess I mean, it's that, or we could sell it.
Did
Now
we
it-
level up when we got out of this cave, or when after a long rest we'll technically level up?
I mean, technically, it's complicated.
Well, so the reason why I ask is because I would like to use if we did level up before the long rest, I'd like to use a spell that I didn't previously have until the level up. If that makes sense.
Are you trying to make things complicated?
No, okay. So so I just learned it's only what level is this? It's a level 6 spell, Create Undead. So instead of using Animate Dead, I would use Create Undead, which would give me ghouls instead of zombies. I'll throw it up here.
Well, don't those have somewhat intelligence too?
They just have a better attack.
I thought they could actually communicate.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I'd have to look up ghoul. But if not, I'll wait till the next time we have a long rest.
It's just a weird conversation because like some people mindset is that the moment you achieve your thing you level up. Other people think that you achieved your thing, then you go and take a long rest and level up. That 90% of the time it doesn't really matter because you go after the battle and rest up and recover and you have time to do all of your goofy things. And for a wizard, it's like you're not you just don't just in a brief second come up with a new spell. It's the time between the previous level and this level. You spend time in secret, just working on it, figuring it out, and then that's the inspiration that comes along with a spell. So I mean,
if my argument to that would be, in my argument to defend that would be it's a necromancy spell. But if it was like a different level, so like a divination spell or something, I would absolutely not be able to do that. But since it's necromancy, that would be my argument.
So here's my question. Looking at the components: 1 clay pot filled with grave dirt, 1 clay pot filled with brackish water, and 1 150 gold piece black onyx stone for each corpse.
Oh, for each corpse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it only raises, I think, 4. Anyway, but yeah, so I mean, I would definitely have grave dirt on me.
I guarantee you have grave dirt on you, and I do give you guys random gems all the time. If you have onyx, I don't.
Let me look. I might have had some from
You
might.
no,
we sold all the gems that we got from the Dream Witnesses, but those weren't 100. They were like $10, 10 gold at max a piece.
So I guess it's just something else. I'll have to wait until we get to the town.
Well, get
We'll
to
be
town.
at that,
Get to town quick, and that's probably the easiest thing for you to do.
Yeah, I got a big shopping list.
God, I can only imagine.
Well, yeah, we talked about it before. Remember, like the ivory and
I'm sure you can take a fair share of the 3,000 gold pot for your components.
Okay.
That was what Blood said he wanted to use it for, right?
Well, I was gonna use it for potions and shit like that, but I guess
Yeah,
we can
that's
burn
fine.
it on that.
I do have some gold because I never bought that. I was gonna buy that the Cape of Montabach or however you say it, but it was like that would have been all my gold. Thinking back, I should have gotten it because that's pretty sweet.
Montalban.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, that's the item I tried to get in a different campaign, and the DM told me no fucking way.
Matt said I have it, but I'm pretty sure it was like let's see, how much gold do I have? I want to say he said it was like pretty much all of my gold, and I have 13,000 now, so it might have been around 13,000 or maybe even 20,000. I had enough at the time, so.
Yeah,
It was
I don't
probably
know
one
without
thing.
looking it up.
Yeah. I'm going to look up on that little website he uses.
Yeah. He said he was giving it to me for cost, too.
Oh yeah, it's probably
Yeah,
right
it
around
is.
12
Yeah, it's
grand.
just a rare item.
Yeah. So probably around 12 grand. That sounds about right.
Okay.
Magic item price checker.
Depending on, well, there's really only one place you could get it from, so.
Yeah, it was right when we were still in the city, right before the dragon attacked.
But anywho, yeah, that was in Rowena, actually.
Did you still never say what the lance does?
So yeah, we kind of got sidetracked, didn't we?
I think he was making us a handout.
There
for
you
it.
go. So I'll put more of the information on it, but this is a legendary lance. It is hella powerful.
Ooh.
It is a +2 lance made out of pure black metal from an ancient meteorite. On a hit, you take 3d8 necrotic damage. It also has 6 charges. I'll give you the information on what spells do what, but it has 5 spells that are attached to it. So if you're attuned to this item, you can cast a few spells.
Dude, silence is awesome for a debuff
Yeah.
against wizards.
Yeah, that is a pretty good one to take out spellcasters.
Yeah.
Well, that's not a weapon that.
Dang, I kind of like that better than my trident.
Break it up. Take it.
As I said, it's really only really 2 of us that probably.
I
Could
mean,
use it.
better than your token of being the big bad.
I know, right?
Doesn't a lance have like a 10-foot range as well?
No, it's showing 5. It looks like.
Oh.
Oh wait, no. No, you have disadvantage when you attack somebody that's within 5 feet of you. So yeah, I guess it does have 10.
Yeah, lances are like one of those like underrated weapons that nobody uses, but they're pretty badass.
Yeah, and it requires
Yeah,
2
if you
hands.
can keep them
It
at
does have
bay. Yeah.
reach.
It's got 2 hands to wield when you aren't mounted.
Yeah, but disadvantage for Apollyon is just normal roll because he always rolls with advantage. So
You could just kill at 10 feet instead of 5.
yeah,
Yeah, it has. This weapon adds 5 feet to your reach when you attack with it.
yeah. It
So it is
also
a 10
said,
foot.
yeah, it's 10 foot. He said it was also disadvantage at 5 foot though,
Yeah, because it's a long
Oh, yeah.
weapon.
because it's so long. It's unwieldy at close
Oh, right.
range. Yeah, so that's the downside of it.
Yeah.
But
Also,
it is-
it's 2-handed, so you would lose
It's a
the benefit of the
legendary
shield.
weapon.
Unless you're mounted, you need a phantom.
It's two-handed,
steed.
but you can cast out of it. I mean, that's a good trade-off.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Depends
No,
on
I
whether or
don't
not
want to
you
get
wear
rid
a
of my
shield.
shield. My shield's what keeps me alive.
Can you get a mount?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, you
That'd be kinda
own
sick.
mounts. They're
We
all
have
still
horses,
in
yeah.
freaking Port Valena, technically.
All right, we should keep this for now. I'm not just gonna immediately pick
Oh,
it
yeah,
up.
no.
Keep
but-
it.
It's,
Yeah.
It looks a little bit dark for Liam, maybe potentially evil, so Liam doesn't want it at all.
Oh, you know full well that get her some markers or some chalk, and Eloise she'll pretty that thing up for you, no problem.
Like
Oh,
Thor's
sure.
hammer, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
No interest.
It's literally who I made it for. Oh well. Okay, so apart from that, is there anything else y'all are wanting to do this evening?
I re-summoned Jareth, and I drank my first drink, so that's what I wanted to do.
It's a big night.
a
I
night
got
of-
nothing else.
Eloise, I think you said you wanted to do something with Alnad.
Mm.
Oh lord.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, shit.
I mean, eventually everybody is going to head off to go to bed or to do their trancing, yada yada yada. There's a lot of commotion in all the camps of studying these things and whatnot. But you do have time that you can grab up Alnad and take him over to one side to kind of explain your plan a little bit. So, what are you thinking?
I want to prank Blood.
Oh shit.
He took a kill right out from under me for their stupid competition, even though I had been the one fighting this dude the whole fight. And you know what? Okay, so when he first joined the conclave, you know that little like wrist tattoo? Well, they had to shave his wrist, and he got like really really touchy about it. So I was thinking maybe we just like give him a little bald patch, just a little one.
Oh, Miss Eloise, that sounds like a hilarious idea, and I'm all for it. I would absolutely love to help you out with this thing. Um, let's kind of talk a little bit about that because, as you know, he is well, you know, he likes to hide in the dark where nobody can see him, and then he wants to. He's always like paranoid, like you wouldn't believe, and sleeps with one eye open and his tail a twitching. So,
My own fucking brother.
how are you thinking of getting around all that?
Did I lose everybody or?
Nope.
If you're talking, we can't hear you.
Try casting hold person on him.
Oh, well, I mean, I can cast Pass Without a Trace and keep us well hidden. So if you can catch him in one of those, I could probably get behind him real quick and do what you need to do, and we both make off into the moonlight.
I'm gonna wait until he's asleep, and then cast hold person on him.
Do you really want to do that to someone you can't see in the dark? 90%?
There's the downside of just outside the campfire light, he's straight up invisible.
You're starting a war, Eloise. You're starting a war.
You started it first.
Hey, I had plenty of people steal kills from me. And I don't go. I'm just saying, hey, just letting you know what's gonna happen.
Hey, you don't know what's happening.
Assuming you know what happens.
Oh, he'll know what had happened. This is gonna be fun.
And these are the consequences of your actions.
I just realized something. Alnad's freaking tapped out. You just literally ran out of this place like less than 3-4 hours ago. He has a first level spell, and that's it.
Is Pass Without a Trace concentration?
I think so.
If you level him up, would he have one more spell slot? I'm trying to help.
You know, actually, I didn't level him up. That's a good question. Again, it goes back to that fucking question we just had a few seconds ago, or like 20 minutes ago, about
Came
whether.
up twice.
Yeah, I know. I don't even know what I would level this guy up as anyway, to be honest. He's got his own thing. It's fine. Now, so Alnad has a different suggestion. if I can, well, we'll have to keep an eye on him, see where he goes, but may not be able to catch him while he's asleep, but maybe you could catch him unawares at least. If you're going to cast Hold Person on him anyway. Then again, do you have the spell slot left over for that? That's
I have
another
a few. I have a good handful of spell slots left.
Okay, so you could easily do it. Alnad, not so much, but he's willing to do the shaving if you can lock blood down.
Deal.
Okay. Well, I'm sure, like I said, eventually everyone heads off to their own respective places to sleep. Knowing blood from a stone, just like we all do.
I was gonna say, does blood take a watch? Because if he does, I'll join him for his watch.
I mean, do we need to take one?
I don't know. Would blood take a watch, even if we have people surrounding us?
Pretending you don't know anything about Eloise's plan.
Well, I'm just saying, like, with everything here, I mean, he probably still would at some point.
Okay.
I don't know. Blood.
Because you gotta remember, he
helps,
doesn't
right?
trust. Just because he's trusted his brother doesn't mean he can't just overcome that kind of hatred overnight. He's gonna take some time, but yeah, he still doesn't fully trust the fucking elves.
So there's definitely the likelihood that blood take a watch at some point throughout the night. Now, the question is, Eloise, do you stay up and try to wait and watch to see when blood comes in to take a watch?
Worth it. Yes.
Absolutely. So the evening goes by. Eventually, you do see your friend Blood from a Stone come back into the firelight for at least a moment as he makes a patrol doing a watch. Tell us about what you're doing and what you're looking for.
Hey, Blood, do you still have any of that that poison for the dragon poison left, or did you use it all up?
I used some of it.
So you still have some?
I might still have some, yes, ma'am.
Okay. I was just wondering if you needed me to make more.
If you can really make dragon poison.
Oh no, but I can
get
make
it from
regular
stores.
poison.
Well, I can make regular poison.
Well,
Got his
fine
little
then.
kit. No, I don't use the poison as often as you might think. It's more of a forethought. I have to remember to actually use it. So I've got plenty. We just needed some oomph downstairs, so that's why I used up some then.
Oh yeah, we definitely needed some help down there. That was a lot.
So you can figure out how to make drow poison. Go ahead.
Do you have any? Because maybe I can.
No,
I could try.
Well, I guess we have those arrows or the swords that might be tipped with them.
Their crossbow bolts still have.
Yeah, well, we have the bolt. Yeah, we got bolts and then 5 short swords that had some on it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So you got plenty of samples.
And I'm assuming some of those. I don't know. I don't think any of the daggers. I think we just had regular. Yeah. So I mean, she could try and duplicate what's on those. Although Veil might be better suited to that since he is drow. I don't know if he knows anything like that.
We'll ask him if there's any special ingredients that I can't figure out. And once he's no longer sleeping, it doesn't really look like. It looks more like Is he meditating?
He's an elf. That's what they do.
You mean he never sleeps ever?
I don't know.
Sleep? Not even once.
I mean, I assume they probably could.
But does that mean they never dream? How sad.
You could ask, some of Two's buddies. if they sleep or not. Or ask Veil. He might tell you. Although I've never watched him try to sleep because that'd be a little weird. He's always just kind of like got his eyes closed. I don't know if he's sleeping or trancing, but that's what they do. I mean,
Is it cool or weird that to have your brother back? Is it both? I mean, that must be some sort of mind trip.
it's a constant reminder of the worst moment of my life. Oh, it's nice to know that he's alive. It's also the biggest failure I've ever had, allowing that to ever happen. So it's not really something I like thinking about, and can't not think about it right now.
Yeah, so mind trip. Cool. Well, not cool. Not great. I mean,
I asked him if he'd be willing to go back home just to show our parents, hey, I'm alive. But I think that'd be more for me than for them. Because if he didn't go back,
yeah.
then how does he explain that?
Well, he wouldn't have to.
Oh, he would.
Your parents might have to do some introspection as to why he wouldn't come back, but
he would have to explain why he didn't come back. You don't know my father. So I can't put him through that. I can't put them through that. Will you see them?
Who?
Oh, I didn't know if you said if you would see my parents. I mean,
No, I said you said you don't know my father, and I said, why, is he dumb?
Well, no. He's just
so he wouldn't put together that...
He's not a forgiving man. He banished me from the village under penalty of death of returning. He's not...
So that's my point. Your dad wouldn't put together that the fact that he's an asshole is the reason why his son wouldn't want to be back in his life?
He's... Two, I do believe, has stayed dead because of what he's doing now. They're not...
stuff.
Well, I mean, it's...
Other than throwing me off a boat, asshole! I say that loud enough so that he can hear.
Blood, what is your passive perception?
22.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not putting anybody through that. I mean, like I said, I'm not welcome home. So if I were to try and take him home, that would be purely just for my own... I don't want to go home anymore. I'm not welcome there.
Then your dad is double dumb because he lost two great people in his life. So that's his loss. And you're gained because you don't have to deal with an asshole anymore.
My mother's not an asshole, though.
No, I didn't say anything about your mom. I may not be super great at this whole social thing, but I do, and I may have grown up without a mom, but I do know better than to talk about anybody else's mom. Okay?
Yeah, I still love my father. He taught me quite a bit of what I'm remembering now that I've kind of tried to turn away from my life of crime that I've been living for so long.
The fact that he taught you skills that you are now for yourself utilizing doesn't mean that he's not an asshole. And you can still love him, and he's still an asshole.
Miss Eloise, I caused the death of multiple people from my village. Mm-hmm. I can't go back. He was right to kick me out. There are families that no longer have their sons because of me. I can't go back.
I'm not saying you should.
I've got a sister that I've never met. I miss my mother. There's so much from back home that I can never get back, and that is all my fault because I allowed my brother's enthusiasm, and I don't blame him. but his enthusiasm to sneak into this territory when we knew the danger, I allowed that to cloud my judgment. It was my duty to protect him, and I failed. I'm sorry, Miss Eloise. This isn't something I don't really want to talk about this.
Okay.
I mean,
You want to talk about the fact that you stole a kill out from under me?
Miss Eloise, I've stolen kills from quite a few people.
I know. I've seen.
Miss Eloise, I've done a lot of terrible things. Killing an enemy just because somebody else couldn't kill them first. I'm never going to apologize for that.
Okay. I cast Hold Person.
Wisdom saving throw.
Alright. When he noticed, and I'm guessing he locks up, I mean, he can still talk.
When you're paralyzed, you really can't do
Well, it's
anything.
whole person. It's not paralyzed, though.
Yes, that's literally what it does. Is it paralyzes you?
Yeah.
You can.
The target or be paralyzed for the duration.
Yeah.
Well, then you're gonna see when he notices he can't move.
You're paralyzed.
Right after his eyes are still. I mean, I'm just saying. All right, go ahead and do it. But after the conversation you just dragged out of him, and then you did that.
I'm just gonna quote his.
You can't really.
You
can't really say anything
I'm just
in this moment.
I'm just gonna take the hood off of his head and stand in front of him and be like, I know we were just talking about some really, really heavy things. I really didn't intend for the conversation to go to that place. But this hopefully will be a moment of levity for you and for me. And I think we really need this after everything. But also, I'm still kind of cheesed off that you counted one of my kills as yours. Also,
actually,
your brother is helping me with this.
I didn't need your kill. I didn't need your kill to win.
You're still not saying anything
I'm
here.
just letting you know.
You can't talk.
I'm just gonna
Also,
mute
your
him.
brother is helping me with this, so yeah.
So for like, you say, as you say, your brother's helping me with this. Like, Alnad does step out from the shadow that he was hiding in with a 27 stealth. I'll just point out that I rolled. Then he's like,
And I'll look at him and I'll say,
honestly,
this will make up for the boat and you will no longer be an asshole.
honestly, Miss Eloise, like, and until he started talking about our family and a sister I've never met.
Go there.
I didn't know he was going to go there either. I thought this was going to be a really funny prank. And he walks over and just wraps his arms around your paralyzed form, Blood. And
I'm just going to go around and I'm going to start shaving a little spot off the back of his head.
Like, Alnad looks really, really bad about this. Like, he just feels horrible, you can tell.
Wait, did you shave Alnad or Blood?
Yeah, Alnad. No. I think she said she was shaving Blood there.
I figured. I think she might get them both after she got betrayed there.
Well, like, he just hugs his brother and he whispers in your ear, he says, I'm sorry that I'm the cause of all your misfortune, brother. I really, truly am. If I'd known you were still alive, things might have been different. I have no idea of knowing, but... Miss Eloise, when you're done doing what you're doing, can you just go ahead and shave me the same way?
Really?
I feel like a jackass right now. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay, and then I shave like a tiny, and I mean it's small, a little number 2 on the back of Blood's head, and then I'm going to shave the letter B on the back of Alnad's head. All done!
And like a minute later, as she's still shaving, I imagine that's when the hold person wears off, because it only lasts for a minute. So you could probably punch your brother in the face as he's getting shaved.
Oh, it's not who he'd punch right now. I think once it wears off, he's instantly going to have a dagger at your throat. And he's going to tell you at Eloise. And he's going to say, you bring up the most painful shit in my life. And then you want to pull your prank.
I didn't mean to. But clearly you were already there, because it really didn't...
He's just a couple of deep breaths. He's like, stay away.
Like Alnad's kind of grabbing onto you at this point. He's like, brother, let's go find a bottle of booze and
Where's Liam?
have a different conversation.
Liam is starfished, passed out right by the campfire, right where you left him.
Nice.
Valid.
Rather disappointed I wasn't there to see her scalp a member of our team, but whatever.
It's tiny, like smaller than the size of a gold
It's
piece.
a number and
Smaller than
a
the size of
letter.
a gold piece.
Don't say it's small.
I'm gonna hand Alnad one of my booze. I'm gonna hand him the one with the insanely high ABV, the buried treasure.
Oh.
The one from the Margarden Federation.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Have you drunk that one before?
I don't think so. I know we drank the one that made steam come out of your ears. Because I had 3. I had the steam one, I have this insanely high ABV one, and then I have the one that makes you hallucinate.
So yeah, Alnad takes that and can tell his brother's looking murderous right now. So he's going to kind of drag blood from a stone away to go hang out over there at the whatchamacallit, the line. Yeah, the Momelda, the line keeping a watch on the cursed lands, and this shit is potent alcohol. But he's gonna sit there and drink it with you.
I mean, he's gonna look at him. He's like, "You were complicit in this."
Don't act like
I don't mind her shaving. That's not. It's the fact that it was right after.
Don't act like you've never shaved me in different places before, brother.
You know what? That was to make you look funny in front of Willow in the Winds when you went on your date. All right. That was something different. That we're blood. All right.
That's worse.
Just saying, payback's a bitch until your brother starts having a psychotherapy moment. So
you don't have anything to apologize for. I'm the one that allowed you to talk me into going. I'm the one that got those boys killed. You
talk about you talk about allowing, and we all are responsible for our own choices. Blood. Every single one of us.
You badgered me for weeks about all that shit, and I kept pushing you away.
Yes, I badgered you for weeks, and I've eventually convinced you. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. It's my fault just as much as yours. There's nobody to blame. Life is just life, and we accept what it is, and we deal with it.
I'm older by 2 minutes, and I'm going to keep that over you until we die. We really die. But it was my job to protect you. You know how it was growing up. You were always the careless, carefree, go have fun person. And I was always the one that had to clean up after our messes when we got in trouble. I've been doing it our whole lives.
He looks at you sideways as you say this and takes another long swig of stupidly potent alcohol. And then he says, next time I'm going to tell her to shave your ass.
Hey, you know what? You didn't have to look into their parents' eyes and tell them why their children didn't come back. I can't get their faces out of my head.
I can't imagine what that was like. I couldn't imagine facing them to do the exact same thing.
And as much as I want to go back and show them that you're alive, I can't do that to them. Not to Mother. Father, he's a different story, but I can't do that to her. She already knows that one son was kicked out and one is dead. She thinks one is dead. She probably assumes I'm dead too at this point. But I know why you stayed away, but they won't accept that. They won't know why. They'll think you did it because you didn't want to come back. I can't do that.
And how far away from the truth would they actually be? I can't even say for certain at this point.
If they knew why, well, I don't know if he'd understand why you are here doing what you're doing. I still don't know if I fully understand all of it.
He sideways looks at you again and he says, can any of us say that we always know for certain what it is we're doing or why we're doing it?
I thought I could for a while.
And then you started getting involved with all that cult nonsense?
Yeah, it was much simpler when I was just selling shit that other people stole.
And it was much simpler when I thought I was a rebirth of a fucking ancient tabaxi.
Yeah, that was stupid, wasn't it?
He chuckles at that. And
I mean, as if you were good enough to be fired from the mountain. I mean, come on, look at you. I mean, I saw some of those weak-ass bow shots down below. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, well, I always left that bow shit to you. I was more the get in front and deal with things headlong.
Oh, God, this shit again. Let me guess, you still think it's more manly to fight up front. His eyes are rolled into the back of his head as he's saying it.
He just pats the short swords that he has on his back and says, you never know. I think we both got some pretty fun toys at this point.
Oh, I got some toys.
Yeah. Who would have thought that two boys from the mountains near the desert end up walking around with
fucking elves?
With the elves.
I hope a few of them heard that.
You have a high enough passive perception. You can see a few of them.
You can see him with the fucking scowling at him in the trees. He's like, yeah, I see you still. Just don't ever do that to me again. Please.
I have a feeling that after today, things are just going to get a lot more interesting. The talk is taking the crystal back to the capital.
You mean your capital, Illimithica?
Well, the country is Illimithica.
Yeah, all right. Well, yeah, I guess, of his country, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, because, yeah, I don't want that thing anywhere near Dawson, Port Valena, any of those, but, you know, y'all keep that here. Its security's tight enough getting in here. That thing might actually be protected here.
There's no doubt about that. From what I'm hearing, that old bald monk of yours has managed to... Yeah. He's managed to negotiate a joint enterprise in the capital. I know the way your conclave works, and let's be honest. Before too long, there's probably going to be a branch of it here in Mithrillin. Yeah,
the country that has been shut off for a quarter of a millennia is just going to let us have a location here.
he kind of shrugs a little bit and he says, "This whole mission was meant to test you conclave types. See how if the legends live up to actuality." And
I don't know about legends.
well, not of you
Well, I mean,
particularly, but
hey, there might be some legends out there about me. I don't know. You don't know either. Don't discount that. Don't
mhm,
take that away from me. I might be somebody's hero.
I'm sure, brother. I'm sure. You're at least my hero.
Just gonna laugh at it. He's like, yeah.
I can be your hero, baby.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I suppose. I mean, if that's gonna happen, I mean, I'd rather be part of your super secret little fan club here, though.
No. I
Although
guess we'll have
maybe
to. I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens.
maybe that thing, that crystal, is what was making all the bad shit happen out in the woods. Maybe you guys will be obsolete now.
Well, the more we do more than
I
just
know.
yeah.
I ain't discounting your boy club here.
He kind of glances in the direction of Eloise in the camp, and he's like,
And then they hugged, and then I shaved a 2 on the back of Blood's head and a B on the back of Alnat's. He let me shave him. He told me to.
She's not very quiet, is she? I'd like to think we're like 100 yards away and we can still hear her.
probably, yeah. And Alnad just kind of chuckles as he says, "Why do you think I ordered her to be thrown off the boat?"
Oh, I thought it's because she wanted to cast spells on you without your permission.
Well, there's that too. And the whole just random person walking up to you and saying, "Hey, by the way, I know your dead brother," and yada yada yada.
Yeah, there's no subtlety in her, is there?
No, not at all. I don't. How do you survive?
You have no idea. I watch out for her sometimes when the others are doing stuff. We went to see this little gnome tinkerer fella. He gave her... she had like a headache from trying on one of his little devices. It did something to it, hurt her head. He gave her like a little lozenge or something to eat or chew on. Had some kind of mushrooms in it. Oh my god. Just the shit that I don't babysit very often, and this is the reason. I mean, you see how loud she is now. Think of her high and loud. So much fun.
That thought is terrifying beyond belief.
Oh, it is so much terrifying. And she will talk to everybody, and you already know that I am a cautious individual, and I don't do that. Jesus.
I'm a genius.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to do a break a little bit early because it's 8:22 right now. But when we get back, we're going to continue on and see what comes up of the Faab Five as they try to make their way through the night and continue on in the morning. We'll be right back.
Yeah, it's in the description of the actual spell page. It's weird.
Howdy everybody, we are back, and when we last left off, the Faab Five were bedding down. Eloise tried to play a prank on Blood with Alnad that kind of devolved and got a little weird and uncomfortable, but the brothers are at least, drinking together and talking it out. While that's going on, we already know that Liam is starfished in front of the fire, just passed out. Necthros Veil, you, I imagine, after all the the hoopla of them asking questions and people talking to you and touching you and all that.
I don't
What
mind anymore.
what did you do after that?
So is there the shard of the crystal that I kept for myself? Is that something that I could identify now, or is that going to be like a later type thing?
Well, you can certainly try.
Yeah.
So I imagine, because you haven't mentioned this to anybody, really, have you?
No, I'm not sure if anybody saw me with it. I had the thing. I put that in my pocket or a pocket, and then kind of, and that's when the whole stuff went down. I willingly gave up the crystal heart to, I don't remember who it was last week.
I think it was Ohm,
But
actually.
yeah, I don't think anybody. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't think it to be,
No, nobody would have noticed it because it was you picking up the thing and then just that little piece breaking off in your hand, and you through all the commotion, nobody would have really noticed this thing. So you could absolutely just go and find a quiet spot to be by yourself if you want to try to figure out what's going on with that thing.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So you go off on your own, walking away from the group as they break off to do their own thing. There's plenty of trees nearby. Nobody's really paying too close attention. So after you've resurrected Jareth again, you could have easily gone found someplace alone to do so. You sit down and begin focusing on this thing. You still don't take it out. You just reach your hand into your pocket, touch it lightly. You spend 10 minutes ritually casting Identify on it, and things come back complicated. You can recognize the heavy magic associated with this thing. You can recognize the necrotic magic in it. You can recognize the nature magic as well. You can also recognize just a tiny part of, for layman's terms, would be called the spark of life. You continue to focus on it, delving deeper, and the hours go by. Eventually you find yourself not really drifting off. You're an elf, you're a half-drow. So you don't actually have to sleep, but you do trance. And you find your mind slowly drifting. Flowing away. You feel the currents of this object. You feel it almost pulse like a heart. Thunk, thunk. Thunk, thunk. Thunk, thunk. You hear an almost harmony come out from the object. It's musical in nature, but it's magical in origin. This object is connected, a part of the thing where it originated from. As long as something exists, a piece of it exists, no matter where, when, why it's there, there's always that connection. And you can feel that within the object. Eventually your mind drifts onward. You feel yourself slipping into your nightly trance, and there's no reason to fight it. Your mind tends to drift whenever you're in these trances, resting as though and only an elf can. But then you see change. Whereas in darkness, now you see a silverine, very, very thin line, and another, crisscrossing, connecting. All around you, these threads. Not invisible, just barely glimpsed out of the corner of the eye, but as you focus on it, it's almost as though something is slightly illuminating, but as you look around you, you see nothing but darkness in these threads. You realize that these threads connect, almost like a web. A web that you're currently laying upon, that you're currently sitting in, held up, suspended, almost like a hammock, cradling you around you. But as you begin to move about, these threads tighten, constricting your arms, constricting your legs. You try to wiggle and fight, but as you do, the threads just tighten and tighten until you realize you cannot move at all. What do you do?
I'm going to. I can't move. I can look around. Can I move my head or just my eyes?
You absolutely can move your head. While you're from your shoulders down, you feel constriction and tightness. Your head is completely free.
I'm going to kind of give myself, whatever, probably a little more than 180 degrees of visibility. See if I could see anything around me. I'm assuming I know what this is. I've dealt with them before. This is some sort of web. Where's the one who created it? I'm looking.
Make a perception check.
Okay. It's a 12.
You wildly look about, your eyes going back and forth, up and down, looking all around, trying to find the source of what you know is holding you hostage. At first you see nothing. It is dark beyond these pale silver threads you see about you that seem to glow just faintly. But then as your eyes begin to adjust, you see, at first I would say no, you don't see. You feel just that little hint of vibration, that pulse, bump, bump, as something touching along those threads, resonating every single one that's in contact with your body. Your eyes go towards that feeling, searching, seeking. But all you can see at first is a silhouette. Large, massive, gargantuan by comparison to you, yet seemingly shrinking downward the closer it comes to you. It's almost as though a pale shimmer is behind this thing that comes towards you. And at first you're counting 8 appendages, no 10. There's a head, there's a body. And as it gets closer and closer, you realize bare from the waist up, with long, silvery, shimmering hair that begins to glow as well, almost in perfect unison with the threads that bind you. You see large eyes from a beautiful face that is also hideous in its irritation. A risen eyebrow, a small snarl upon beautiful ruby red lips, with just a hint of fang behind it. But as your eyes trail downward, as anything must, you see beyond the belly button an arachnid form that seems to grow outward, long and spiderous, 8 legs creeping along, and these legs seem to get close to your feet. You feel these large appendages just touch lightly, covered in hairs that send shivers down your spine. As this elfin face just looks down upon you with an expression that you can only describe as disgust. She says nothing. She seems to be just looking down upon you. What do you do?
Vale looks at her. He realizes he's in trouble. He lowers his head in shame, but defeat as well. For a moment, he holds it there, closes his eyes tight, opens them again, and looks up. And he's no longer hanging his head in shame. He's got some anger on his face, but it's also mixed with another emotion that it's just really hard for him to pull forward because he doesn't use it much. Almost like a pride, but not pride with himself or his god. More of a pride of camaraderie and friendship. He clears his throat and he says, "What do you want?" And he tries to sound fierce, but it comes out afraid.
The woman leans down
Mic
and
check.
test.
Too many dramatic pauses, man. I don't know what's going on. Matt is not on camera.
Okay, well, it looks like everything just disconnected for me, so that's fun. Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3.
There he is.
Test 1 2 3. Can
Hey!
anybody hear me? Hey, there we are. That was fun. So I know I heard everything Jeremy said, and then it cut out for me. But I don't think a lot of what I said
We didn't
caught.
hear anything
Yeah.
from you.
So
Didn't hear anything.
Yeah, we heard Jeremy's speech and then nothing.
So I have no idea what my OBS captured, but my OBS was the issue because it went down and then it came back up. So, sorry about that, everybody, but we're going to pick up where we left off, where Jeremy was saying, "What do you want?" basically. Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he tried to sound like fearless and stern, but there's definitely fear behind the voice.
After you say that, one of those 8 spider appendages, the front right one, reaches out and caresses your face just slightly. You feel that the hairs of the tarantula leg just brushing against you. It tickles almost, but at the same time, you can't help but shudder. She says to you, "Oh, what do I want?" Oh, my precious pet. Oh, it's not about what I want at this point. It's about what I deserve. And she runs that spider leg along your chin again. So, you wish to fuck me, do you? That is what you said to my servants, didn't you? And she slaps you across the face, Veil.
Oh! And he grits his teeth and he says, "It's not how I would have perceived that. It's not that I want to engage in some sort of relationship with you. It's quite the opposite. I think I'm done with you." And he tries to straighten up, but he's caught in the web and
Yep.
he just glares at her.
Make an athletics check.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know it's going to go well. But theatrics.
Yep.
He's critting this shit. Watch.
Do it.
Imagine.
Do it.
Athletics, -1.
Go!
With the 2.
Yeah. So you struggle vainly, but the threads just seem to tighten around you as that spider appendage pulls your head upward, and the elfin form seems to lean down towards you. Her mouth opens, and you can see every single tooth is pointed, razor sharp. And she just very gently lets them graze along your throat before rising up to look at you dead in the eye. She says, I, oh, my pet, I indeed, you have such lovely eyes, and do not think that what I hold in my heart towards you will ever ignore such a disrespect. You and I, we have things to discuss in future. Or, well, such very different perspectives, but I look forward to our next meeting. And perhaps in that moment, you might disappoint me less. O one of the veil. And she leans down and kisses you lightly on the forehead. Do you say anything else to her?
I say, I hope I don't see you again.
As you say that, she lifts her lips from your forehead, and you can feel something there, a weight left behind from her kiss. It's a tangible weight. Maybe half a pound or more. And you can feel these very, very light pincers, like legs, start touching along your forehead. Now, as she lifts up, she smiles at you one last time and she says, I'm afraid that hope is one I'm going to have to deny. But until then, know that I am not a patient God. And every action has its reaction. And as she says that, she turns and begins to walk away along those threads. You can see that massive form just inching away past you. But as you feel that, you also feel a tickle, a sensation along your face. Your eyes look up and you can see a decent-sized spider, tarantula size or more, moving along your face. It seems to scurry about and puts its face directly towards your eye. Its pincers begin to open menacingly as those 8 eyes, or however many eyes spiders have, I don't remember, look down upon you. Each one catching yours as that mouth opens up and lunges. And the next thing, literally everybody in the camp hears, is the most pained cry that you've ever heard in your life, coming from Necthros Veil as he just screams out in unholy agony. You all awaken hearing this, and just see Necthros Veil sitting against a tree, pawing at his eye, screaming in pure pain. What does everybody do?
I run to him.
Liam, still prone, has enough time to get up and beat Eloise there. So, unless blood was on a dead dash, Liam will probably be the first one to him.
No, he'll be up perched at a tree. He'd be coming down, though.
Veil, you are experiencing the most pain sensation of your entire life. It's almost as though your eye is burning from the inside out, and you can't help but scream out in terror. You see Liam from your other eye. You can see Liam running towards you, followed very closely by Eloise. What are you doing?
I, screaming, put my hand up towards Liam and say, "Stay away! Stay away! She's here! She's here!" And I'm scratching at my eye area, and I'm writhing in pain in kind of sporadic movements and jerking motions and swinging around.
Who's here? Who's she? What are you talking about?
I just keep repeating, "She's here! Go! Run! She's here! Run away! Get away from me!"
Can I see anything physically wrong with Veil?
Make a investigation or a perception check, either or.
Okay.
Also, during this time, as you're saying this, Veil, you start to realize that your arms and legs are moving again. You're flailing about. They're no longer bound.
Okay.
17.
Blood's looking for who could be here.
Yeah, with the 17 perception, you see Veil's hands coming up, covering his left eye. He's just holding it, screaming out in pain, and you can't see there's a dark sort of ooze coming up around his hand, viscous and dark and thick, kind of almost like blood. But it's dark over here, so dark vision.
Right. Eloise, do you have any healing abilities left for the day?
Yep.
Flipping out. Sorry, go ahead.
Can I see anything, or on or around his eye? Is it still in the process of being injured, or is this aftermath?
Go ahead and give me a medicine check. I imagine you're kind of grabbing Veil's hands and come on, let me see what's going on here. Blood, you're looking about and you're scanning.
Tracks, see if somebody's there. Yeah.
Yeah.
With 30.
Other than Veil's footprints leading over to this tree, you assume they're Veil's because they're small and healed and
Delicate.
And
oh yeah.
delicate. Yeah, yeah. But other than that, you don't actually see anything. Other than you look up to the top of the tree, and you notice that there is just a small amount of silverine webbing going from one or two branches back and forth.
He's gonna climb up, scoot up the tree, and start checking that. I'm assuming other elves and Momelda have probably seen what he's doing, and they're probably moving in that same direction.
Oh, a lot of people are actually coming running at this point.
So yeah, he's going up to check out those closer, see exactly what's going on with them.
Veil's still screaming in agony and in extreme pain.
14 medicine check.
Screaming for everyone to get away and run.
Eloise, what was your medicine check?
14.
14. Yeah, with your medicine check, as you're examining, you have to physically grab Veil's wrists and pull him away from his face to get a good look. But
I'm assisting with that,
yeah, Liam probably is assisting with that. But you force Liam, or you force Veil to put his head back and look up, and you spread his eyelids, and his eye is gone. His left eye is completely gone. There's nothing but an empty socket and a little bit of nerve ending and raw flesh. I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of somebody who's lost their eye freshly, but it's kind of gruesome.
Okay,
Veil
so
flipping out, pushing his hands away, telling everyone to run, get away, run, she's here.
And you notice, Blood, you're up in the tree looking for more, see if anything's there. Nothing, you see that webbing that's slowly just starting to dissolve away and float away in the wind. But here's something else that you kind of notice is, coming away from, as you're looking down and you're seeing Eloise and you're seeing her pull Veil's arms away and that sort of thing. You see that his staff it was laying to his side and has kind of been pushed away a little bit as Eloise is fighting with him. And you catch this with your 30 perception that you fucking rolled. That you've seen his staff before. It is just a long cylindrical staff, gnarled at one end, and has the spider motif on the top of it. The spider motif, it's metal. It's made of silver and kind of gleamed a little bit. It seems to grow darker in the moonlight. You see the transition, and you see little, very fine thread-like cracks go along the spider motif.
Alright. And that's, I guess I'm up the tree, but I guess I dropped down and I can see his staff is looking like that, or can I see it from up top? Is it that glaring?
I imagine you're out on the lower levels of the tree. You're right there on the boughs as you're looking at those the threads, which there's not a lot of them. There's very, very little. But as you're looking at that, that's when you glanced down and you saw that, and you saw that transition.
Ooh. Yeah, he'll drop down and kind of just pick up the staff and start looking at it. And then just kind of going from the staff to Veil. And just kind of sit there.
I figure at this point, Liam's taking up a defensive position, kind of slowly circling around Veil, waiting for she's coming.
If Blood sees Ohm or something like that approaching, he's going to get his attention and call him over.
Yeah, Ohm hasn't appeared yet. Some of the Conclave members have, and have come and start running over, asking, "Hey, what the hell's going on?"
I'll wait for You ain't gonna trust any of them yet with something like this. It could be a private conversation you might need to have with them.
So, Eloise, if Eloise is yelling, "Hey, can anyone cast Calm Emotion, Stun, Hold Person, anything?" A few of the Conclave members that are walking up said, "Hey, I can stunning strike somebody."
That's what I was telling Liam. I was like, dude, just fucking stunning strike his ass.
And Vale
Look,
still,
I'm gonna
6
heal.
seconds
I'm
later,
gonna
what
heal
then?
anything. Just get him to calm down.
and Vale flipping out and screaming and putting his hand near his left eye and realizing it's just a mushy eyelid flapping.
Don't touch that.
He sees blood. He sees blood grab his staff, and he immediately thinks, something's going to come out of this staff and hurt Blood. So he reaches for the staff, and channeling his energy, he's going to cast something out of the staff, a globe of invulnerability around himself. To if something's coming, it's going to be coming for him, and he doesn't want his friends to be hurt.
Can you
Okay.
do that with a dragonborn sitting on your chest?
I mean, technically, it's Vale reaching out, grabbing a staff, and attempting to cast a spell. Vale, give me a D100 check.
25.
So you cast the spell, and for a moment you feel a little bit of resistance, as though it's fighting you. But you manage to push past it, and you feel this globe encircle you and push literally everybody away from you. Eloise, you are projected outward as this globe of invulnerability is cast and pushes you away, and you just kind of land hard on your rump.
Vale looks down at the staff, and does he notices like he's cast things out of this thing before. This didn't feel right. He's going to take a look and see if he notices anything different with the staff.
Make a perception check at disadvantage.
Yeah, it does say it's a 10-foot radius. Wouldn't that include everybody that gets cast right around it?
Yeah, but it's on self, right?
Yeah.
No, it's just,
Yeah.
it says radius. Well, self 10-foot radius of you.
Yeah, so basically everybody that was trying to do this, and including you in the tree, like you get shoved upward and then you slide down
I just
around
want
the
to sit
fucking
on top
thing.
of this and be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Make an acrobatics check.
Oh, yeah, that's 28.
You manage to stay on top.
And that's an 11 for perception at disadvantage.
You grab that, you're holding that staff that Liam was currently holding on to, and you pull it towards you and you look at it. And
Blood
for you, it looks a lot different because those thin, almost feather-like cracks that Blood from a Stone could see, for you, they radiate black energy. And it's feathered in a way that is reminiscent of the spider leg that caressed your face.
Yep.
Did you just take away his favorite toy?
You're looking at it. One eye open, the other nothing but pain and fire. And you can just feel the displeasure of your queen. But then, at the same time, those things she said, those comments, it made... It's weird. It's really weird what she said, because at the same time, like, you could sense her displeasure, but it's almost as if she was expecting it. What the? all these thoughts seem to just linger in your mind, and you can't help but dwell on it. But questions rarely have the answers that one's hoping for, and at least in this moment, you can't conjure up why you're still alive, why she was so lenient and merciful towards somebody who basically flagrantly gave her the middle finger. But you are alive. And your staff is there, but there's also that burning pain in your eye.
Mm-hmm.
As you can only see through one of them now, because the other's gone.
Yep.
Depth perception's gonna be a bitch.
I'm never gonna be able to see a 3D movie again.
Well, there's spells that can regrow limbs, isn't there?
All right. So with that, I think I'm coming to terms with what happened. I'm not screaming anymore. Definitely still in a lot of pain. A minute goes by and the globe of invulnerability dissipates.
As soon as it does, I run back up to Veil and I kind of like tackle and like put him in a headlock, and I'm like, "Stop! Let me freaking! You're still bleeding."
Oh yeah, he still has like that crust of viscous going down his cheek. He's definitely raw, in there and kind of oozy and is gross.
Okay, but I think I don't think there's anything you could do for this.
Oh,
And,
sure. We'll get you a patch, and you can choose the color. I assume black, because tradition and your, motif, and stuff. Maybe white. That could be interesting.
There's spells that can regrow an eye. Come on, don't you have to? Plus, it's gonna be purple. Obviously, purple would be the patch. Come on.
Right,
Veil.
but what if the eye eater eats again after you regrow it back? That could be painful.
Yeah, Vale knows, that his friends are obviously trying to help and comfort, but he knows deep down there's no spell that's going to bring his true eye back. And I think, even though it's been mere moments, he realizes that if this is all that happened for literally turning his back on his god, this is a small price to pay, and it's something that he's going to have to deal with.
And in the back of your mind, that thought does come up. This was a small price for, basically giving your god the middle finger. Why? Why was it such a small price to pay? Her displeasure, her almost condescendingly jovial attitude towards it. What does that all mean?
Vale thinks it might mean she's got bigger plans, and I may be a key role in them. And he shudders at that thought. And then he looks back to his friends. And he says, this has probably been the most interesting day I've ever had.
Except it's coming out a little smooshed because Eloise is kind of smooshing his face, trying to like clean off the gunk.
This was probably the most interesting day I've ever had.
Oh, I could say probably top 10. It's a good long day. Never really had a beginning or end that was not interesting. It's a good one.
It's a good one indeed. I'm just kind of curious, what spin did you give the Conclave people that all came running up to see what the fuck was going on just now?
Well, I mean, I guess the Conclave, he wouldn't do anything, but he'd try to be keeping the elves away. He's like, minor mishap, Veil, I don't know. He's into hurting himself. You've seen his people, his friends. It's his weird thing. Let's just give him some room. Let Miss Eloise do her work.
Anybody
just trying to-
helping?
I would say, like I said, he's grabbing two, so he can get one of their representatives to try and help. Just because you don't need everybody rushing in, to get around this. I mean, what are they going to do? I mean,
I haven't talked much to the elves yet. There's no point in starting now.
Fair enough. Blood, since 2 is helping you, and I mean, he's the type that will generally take your lead, being 2 minutes older, yada yada yada.
Goddamn
whatever.
right.
Little bitch. Anyway, go ahead and roll that deception check with advantage.
Thank God for that, because it was a crit on both heads. Oh my God.
God damn.
Hot diggity dog.
Yeah, the 2 of you together spinning it to the elves. Like, the conclave people are still gathering around. They're kind of curious. They want to know what information you're willing to give. The 2 of you just work your magic, pushing off the elves to the point that, okay, no, weird drow shit is weird drow shit. We're not going to deal with that. If you've got it, we're good.
I think the only one he would probably really let close is he'd grab the guard captain. Was it Taraxa or Taraxan? He'd grab him and be like, he goes, all right, yeah, you need to be involved in this. But everyone else, he'd kind of be like, yeah, hey, we got your boy. It's like, this is something that I don't know what you guys can do to help right now. So yeah, everyone will know when we know. But he's going to let him know because, if this has got something to do with, what we just went through, Blood still doesn't know. This guy needs to be apprised of what's going on.
I mean, with that nat 20 for a 27, you're able to spin this with the help of your brother to, like, the elven captain is like, okay, if you're dealing with it internally, we're not going to make a big fuss of it. Just don't get weird and we're cool.
Yeah, I mean, he still wants him to, like, be nearby. He's just say, like, hey, yeah, until we figure out what's going on, we'll deal with it. We'll let you know.
Yeah, they're not fully, just taking you on trust, but they're at least giving you the benefit of the doubt.
Meanwhile, I've, as I cast Cure Wounds and stuff, I'm packing the eye socket with, some absorbent moss and making sure that, maybe there's a little bit of, a poultice just to make sure that there's no infection that sets in. And then I'm going to use... I'm going to see if anyone's got out of, Veil's spare clothes or maybe his fancy clothes if he's not wearing it, and see if I can, fashion a cool, fancy-looking eye patch for him.
Well,
Okay.
At least you're not painting a rock to look like an eyeball.
No, we'll get that in port. We'll get you a glass one.
No, that's just a recipe for infection. No.
Was it on the Pirates of the Caribbean one? It wouldn't. That is the guy's fake eye was.
That would be so freaking painful. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know, right? But at the very least, you can fashion a little bit of an eye patch for Veil with things you have. And go ahead and give me a medicine check as you're trying to bandage him up and use some poultices.
While she's working, Blood's just going to lead into Veil and he's like...
I don't know why that rolled twice.
You might have had advantage on for something else.
Honestly, I'm going to give this to you because between your knowledge of medicine and everything you've done over the course of this campaign, I would say that you having advantage on this check is fair. So you spent some time bandaging Veil up. You're going to have to, use a lot of your healing salves and poultices to clean him out and whatnot, and probably a little bit of alcohol coming from Veil, or coming from Liam. But overall, you can can bandage Veil up and put a little patch over him. So for at least a little while, he'll have some time to heal up. And you got the gauze in there to absorb any of the goo that comes out from that kind of injury. But with your medicine check, you can also tell that like there's nothing there. You look in that socket; it's empty. It's almost as though something had cleared out the orb that had once been in there. It's a little weird. But anyway.
It's almost like someone took a sharpened spoon and just like your eye out.
It wasn't a spoon.
Why a spoon?
Well, a spoon is curved and it can get into the eye. It's like a perfect shape to just like get in there behind the eyeball. And if you sharpen the edge, you can just like cut all the nerves that are kind of holding it and then just it right out.
Right, but it looks like it was more torn out with a fork than politely scooped out with a spoon.
Veil interrupts and says,
it's soft tissue damage, so everything's kind of swollen right now. It's fine.
Good
there
luck.
were no utensils involved. It was a spider. So
Are there
Like,
more of these spiders out there? I
be
eat them.
forewarned. Do not mess with spiders from here on out.
Yeah, he's gonna say exactly how big, because there were some rather, they were thin, but they were long, silvery spider webs up top.
Is this why we're not supposed to come into these woods? Are these spiders everywhere?
I mean, have we seen any spiders yet before now? I mean, he'd just
really.
look at
That's
two in the captain.
one!
He'd look at two in the captain and be like, "Are there spiders normally that could do something like this?"
I mean, if you go and ask Alnad or the captain, they'd be like, no, there's no real massive spider outbreak in these forests. We tend
Are
to
you
deal
calling
with that.
Veil a liar? Because Veil
No.
is no liar. He said the spider ate his eye, it ate his eye.
I never said that. I'm just saying there's no spiders around here right now. I found spider webs. I fully believe something happened.
Anesthetic is in chat. She did give inspiration to Eloise, and she wanted me to tell you that Blood is her hero, dealing with all the nonsense with her brother and whatnot.
Wow. Aw. You're my girl, my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, we only got like 30 minutes left of this game, so. But I keep forgetting to mention it. And also, Live and Let's Die was here saying a +3 dagger is pretty freaking sweet, which I agree.
Yeah, it is.
Like, I'm so generous to you all. Why do I do that to myself? I don't know. But it's okay.
I mean, yeah. I ain't going to complain about my bow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I also gave you a pretty sweet thing, and as far as that lance goes, and I do have something for Apollyon later on, but we'll get to that. Anyway, is there anything else, like other than Veil attempting to fall asleep after all that nonsense? Dear God! Like,
yeah. So real quick, but before Veil finishes his trance, he attempts to go in again reluctantly, but he knows he needs to in order to regain everything. He's going to animate all of the zombies in the portable hole, using up all his spell slots.
I don't think those are going to protect you in your sleep, buddy.
Do you have a new maximum number?
No, I only have 19 bodies, so I'm going to...
I don't think he has a max as long as he has the spell slots.
Is
Yeah,
that works?
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, it's basically we're playing. We're not playing D&D anymore. We're actually playing Warhammer at this point. So that's kind of how I build every encounter.
Freaking like Diablo, he's got a little spawn.
And just to clarify, did Veil find anything out about the shard?
So I mean, I kind of gave you some information about the shard already.
Yeah, but yeah.
So we're not. So I'm not actually being coy. It's this item is a minuscule magical representation of the creature that you were just in. It's it's hardcore magic as far as like the item itself goes, but apart from that, it like doesn't do any additional things.
Oh, there's no like use. I have no use for it as just like as it's more of like a cool souvenir, if you will.
Yeah, it's more of like a cool souvenir that radiates magic hardcore. But apart from that, it doesn't like serve any real function that you can figure out at this point.
Okay, I'll keep it just in case in the future I do figure something out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a shard of summoning Tarask.
God, that's terrifying.
One trample round.
Eloise, after Veil eventually settles down and has at least been slightly healed from everything that's going on, what's going on with you?
Once he's done raising all his or controlling all of his dead or whatever he's doing with his zombies, I'm just gonna kind of kneel next to him and it's like, I can't tonight, but maybe tomorrow. I might know a spell that can grow back your eye. It's the strongest spell I know. I could try.
And Veil smiles because he knows that she's really just here to help, and he kind of pats her on the knee and says, "I really do appreciate it, but this is just a burden I'm going to have to accept for a while. And I don't want you to waste your spells on me after everything I've done."
Phil, you're a part of our group. It wouldn't be a waste.
And Val smiles again. A tear rolls down his right eye, down his cheek, and he just smiles at her. And then he closes his eye and he starts his trance.
I go to go and give him a hug, and I'm like, oh wait, he's and I wave my hand in front of his face. No, he's not here anymore. Okay, and I'm just gonna kind of kiss his cheek, and then I'll go off to find Liam.
Wasn't it covered in blood?
No, I cleaned him up.
Okay, as I say.
Yeah, she cleaned him up.
While he was talking, remember, his face was smooshed.
Kiss the blood.
It's difficult in the moment, isn't it, to not say "close my eyes," like to remove that plural. It's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, close my eye.
I mean, you still technically have two eye sockets. Just one of them doesn't have anything in it.
One just flapping.
God, that
Just
must feel weird.
Get him a robe of many eyes, then he won't need the eye.
There you go. I'll have the best perception.
But anyway, after that, I imagine you all kind of head off to your own respective beds or whatever sleep you're able to find this evening. I don't imagine it's a whole lot, but you do eventually wake up, and the conclave let you sleep probably a little bit before waking you up in the middle of the day, so you all are able to get a long rest.
Woohoo!
You are informed that it is currently the 24th of the month. It has been an interesting trip for you all, but where you are right now, at the edge of the Cursed Lands, the Conclave is planning on sending out another expedition. They're going to be checking out the ruins and everything that's going on. Alnad comes over, and he finds you, Blood, first. And he tells you that he's been relieved of duty for the day based on what his report is and everything they went through. So he's not going to be a part of the group that are dealing with everything. But a group is about to be sent out. It's up to you, your group, whether or not you want to push to join it. Eventually, you all wake up, and you do have the option of joining the expedition into the Cursed Lands a second time to see what had happened since you've been gone. Does anybody agree to join?
I think I'd rather take the cliff notes on this one, honestly.
Yeah. I think this
Look
is a
forward to hearing the report, though. I'll
This
read
is-
it, though. I will read the whole thing, I promise.
This is a side quest we could skip.
Okay. Eloise and Veil, I assume the same thing?
Well, I'd be down to go. I feel like I have some unfinished business, and fuck the drow.
Fair enough. So Veil, with his bandage over his eye made by Eloise, is keen to head on back. The rest of you would have noticed this at this point. So does that change anybody's decision, just out of curiosity?
No, because I also want to start getting paid for missions again. And in order to do that, we need to stop by the Conclave and get back on... I don't know. We
I'm
just went there. I hate double dipping. I know there's more stuff. I know there is, but it's still... I want to see more. I don't know. Blood?
Yeah, I think that some could probably authorize the funds if we were to do something like this, but yeah, I would feel the plot seems it could be better served somewhere else. I mean, why? I mean, what are we going to learn there now? I mean, like I said, this seems like a side mission that we could do later on, but they're going right now. I don't feel the need to go immediately.
Yeah, send somebody else. Maybe those guys will die and we won't get a story from it. We don't know because we won't be there. But
Fair enough. So, other than Veil, everybody else is choosing to hang out and rest up. Veil, you join an expedition. And your day is relatively chill. Your group travels across the lands. You do have to deal with, the every 4-hour psychic assault. You're expecting it, and you're waiting for it, and so you poofed out Jareth, counting throughout your day how long it will take. And you do experience it. Some of the Conclave members deal with it, others not. Some of the elves deal with it, others not. You head towards the entrance to Ambar Belthor. What's interesting, you can't help but note, is after about 30 or so feet down the esophagus, it has basically been collapsed inward. Your party is forced to stop. And you take some time and consider it, and some magic will allow you to rip through it. You have the abilities to do so, but at the same time, you also reason that doing so could also make the whole area unstable. And while, yes, maybe you could traverse unhindered to a certain point, there's also the possibility that things would collapse inward on you. And so there's a lot of debate within the Conclave of whether or not you want to continue on. And unless you personally try to dissuade them, it's fairly easy to read the vibe that they're not willing to go beyond a certain point without a much larger force. Now, do you try to dissuade them of that and try to push them to continue onward down into the creature?
No, I see the dangers and the risk involved, and I outweigh the I weigh the pros and cons and realize that the cons way outweigh the pros right now. So I'm back to I'm with them.
Okay. So after basically 6 or so hours of traveling back and forth and studying and whatnot, your group determines we're going to head back for now. You arrive back with the conclave groups and kind of discuss what was found there, and the conclave does agree that while yes, them and the elves should start sending larger expeditions into it for at least the next few days, it's probably smarter to head over to Mithrelin, which is the capital of Illimithica, and report what's going on and deal with things from there. There's talk back and forth and discussion of who goes where and why and that sort of thing. But eventually it's agreed upon that the caravan will leave the Baradur and the Mulmelda and to keep an eye on this area while the elven expedition along with the conclave would start heading towards the capital. You're told that at this point, it's if you want to travel forward and head to Mithrelin, you absolutely can. Your information and knowledge will be vastly appreciated. Blood, you're also told by your brother that he's heading to Mithrelin. The Baradur and the Mormelda who are here can very easily deal with things. And actually, Kumna, his partner, is planning on staying behind to oversee the operation. But since he's a member who actually went in there, he's going to be giving testimony and information about what he saw there. So if the rest of your group wants to, you absolutely can. You can come along with them, see the Elven capital. Tells you that at that moment he's planning on doing the same thing, heading to Mithrelin.
Mm-hmm.
You all have magic and means to leave this area. So you're told that if you want to leave and do your own thing, and you're absolutely welcome to do so. It's entirely up to you. But for this moment, they're not planning on heading back into Ambar Belthan until they at least go to Mithrelin, talk to the Empress and everybody running things there, and discuss what they're going to do from here on out.
Mithrelin is the capital of the south?
Of the Illimithica, of the elves.
Illimithica, the whole country.
Yeah.
Oh, the whole country. Okay.
Oh, yeah, he's going to go. Blood will go. He'll agree.
Yeah, a little bit more time to spend with Ohm couldn't hurt, you know?
Okay.
Where Ohm goes is usually good cause.
Okay.
That's a nice shopping list.
But at the same time, I'll remind the group that we were attacked in Weston, and if we want to find those attackers, we might have to go back to Weston. We never did find out who's behind that.
And
The
we need
the
to
cyanide
save
capsule
Mitchell.
guys.
We need to save Mitchell. Don't forget about Mitchell.
No, of course not. Not forgetting about Mitchell, but there's also Millie there and Mitchell's family there.
Wait, you talking about Port Valletta?
Port Falena, what did I say?
You said Weston. I was like, wait, cyanide cat. I was like, wait, we know full well who was after. No, they were. I thought they were the cult members that were coming after us.
Yeah, the army that attacked Weston was the Cult of the Dreamer.
Yeah, and the weirdos. Well, he said, I guess the guys that were like that bit onto the cyanide capsules.
Oh,
in
in Port Valena.
Right.
Gotcha.
Do we we never really tracked that lead down very much. Is all I'm saying.
One of us.
No, we got a bit distracted by the Leviathan that was summoned. And
Yeah.
just kind of like tsunamied the whole port.
Well, they captured the Nomi man who was after it. Yeah.
No. Blood shot one of them and was almost fucking caught by guards, and then the Leviathan attacked. And I thought, admitted that, yeah, he was like, he said, like, the dream will never die or something like that.
Yeah, but they caught him. They may have, like, gotten information out of him, too.
Oh, no, he was dead. That
The
wasn't,
gnome?
yeah. No, not him. I'm talking about the guy. There was a guy that was following Blood, and Blood shot him.
Oh, yeah.
And then he said before he died, like, the dream will never die or some shit like that.
The dreamer will take you.
Okay, yeah, that's
Oh.
what, yeah. I know, the dream will never die is a good one. You should keep that.
Oh yeah, I should. I'll remember that one. I will remember that one.
But no, the dreamer will take it. That's fucking ominous even more. But yeah, the dream will never die. Yeah, remember that.
I will.
So yeah, but I mean, right now, I mean, plus Blood's gonna think, he goes, "Oh yeah, we can leave of our own accord through Elven territory." He's like, "Fuck you." So he's gonna follow along. He ain't believing. He ain't trusted that shit. He's still prejudiced. You ain't getting that away from him that quick.
It's like the one thing that was 100% like genuine, and Blood's like, not even a second would I believe that.
Yeah, you have teleportation means.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you want me to do a teleportation circle?
Let's go to the capital. We might as well
I
hang
mean,
out, and
The trees said that we could leave Illimithica through them.
maybe the elves could do something with your peeper there. Maybe they got nice fake ones. I don't know.
Again, I don't think. I think this is a small burden to bear.
Dude, maybe we can get one that shoots like fire bolts out of it or something like that. Is there something like that? You could have a badass wicked eye like that.
Like Cyclops.
I wasn't gonna say that, but I was heavily implying it. Or the bad guy from that fucking Last Action Hero that always has the different colored eyes and they do different shit. You know, like that, something like that. Yeah.
Why not? But yeah, if you want to just tag along with the conclave, they're heading to Mithrillin, which is you're informed is basically about a 12-day journey from where you are right now, but it's not too far.
12-day journey by foot.
Well, by caravan, because yet people on horses riding full on outright a lot faster. A caravan's kind of slow. Like that's why it took you a week to get from the edge of Illimithica to where you are now.
Is just geography wise, Mithrillin still in the Elven Forest Illimithica that we're in?
Yeah, towards the center of it, right where the forest meets the mountains.
Did you give us a map?
Which was the first Elven city that we entered through?
Let me see. Where's my map here?
So we haven't been to Mysteria.
Mithrillin. No, you have
not.
No,
you have not.
Venois is where we crossed in, and then we were in like a small outer city.
Mm-hmm.
Was where we spent the night before.
Yeah, there's the map right there. And you can see Illimithica is just mostly forest until you reach the mountains. But there are hidden cities within that. And Illimithica is the most furthest city in the forest until it hits the mountains. Like right on the edge there. That's where the city is.
We were down here, like to the
southern edge.
Yeah, towards like with the southeast, I guess, of there. Is where the fucked up Tarask dead body was.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So yeah, you all start heading out and travel a good day, which is the 24th of Shadirin. The 24th of Shadirin. which is relevant because as the evening dawns on the 24th, all of your group, you've always camped out between the two groups, the Conclave and the Elves, and you've kind of taken pride on that point. So I imagine as you're traveling, you're doing the exact same thing. But in the middle of the night, towards about 11 o'clock at night, you hear a very large buzz going on the Conclave side. And you can all see the elves kind of like perking up and getting ready, like looking for attack and that sort of thing. And I imagine most of you all go running towards the Conclave. Is that probably fairly accurate?
Yeah.
Run, I'd probably stroll. Whatever is coming, I'm sure most of the Conclave members can handle.
You hear a lot of them talking, and as you're all walking, who here has a Conclave tattoo? I don't remember.
Everyone but
Everyone's at Eloise, right?
Yeah, everyone
Okay.
but Eloise, yeah.
So everyone but Eloise hears the exact same message. Conclave in Revancia under attack. All Conclave members recalled immediately, requesting help right now. And you all hear that. Go ahead and give me a history check. Anyone who wants to give one.
Is this the Revancia in Hyrulean?
It is Revancian Hyrulean. Why do you ask?
I think he heard you during the break.
Absolutely
19
no
for
reason.
blood.
Well, I'm going to say, if Eloise, you remember something that is in there, please feel free to tell.
No, not at all.
Eloise technically didn't hear the message.
No, Eloise didn't hear the message. So
She
Eloise
didn't.
doesn't know unless someone says it out loud.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it.
Yeah, so would blood be like Revancia.
Well, Veil, with your 28 in history, the name Revancia immediately calls something to your mind. Every single dream root that your group has collected has been sent to Revancia for study.
Oh, shit.
Why? Why?
You
Why
don't
would
put all your eggs in one basket.
idiots everywhere, just idiots.
Well, we know the teleportation circle there.
I've been feeding y'all shit, all y'all this shit for like months. Yeah.
Okay, having been to the Druid Grove, that isn't super far away from Revancia, would I know of a tree big enough that I could transport us via plants there faster?
I'll make a nature check.
Ooh, use your inspiration.
Yeah, good point. Thank you. Anesthetic did give you her inspiration for today, so you can absolutely use it.
Yes.
I mean,
Don't you love it?
yeah, okay. And well, at least she didn't give it to Blood, who never uses it. So anyway, you absolutely can remember there is a very large tree in the center of the Druid Grove there. If you give me 10 seconds, I'll look up what the name of it is. That would be Feywalker's Glen. Feywalker's Glen, which is not far from Revancia.
Yeah, it's the only Druid Grove that I had known before, because me and Vulcan had visited once or twice while I was growing up.
That's correct. So, Veil does know the teleportation circle to the Conclave in Revancia. You also know trees that are large enough for you to transport to just outside of there. It's not too far away.
What's faster?
Well, technically, the one that's in the city would be fancier.
But if you
Yeah.
want to do like a, you know,
If
A
your
plane
tree's more
and-
than, what, 10 minutes outside the city, then the circle's faster.
So yeah, the Druid Grove is probably a day and a half journey away from Revancia.
Oh, that's way too long. Yeah.
Yeah. But you do know the teleportation circle to Revancia specifically because you've been there.
Right.
After you're seeing the commotion coming up, and Ohm comes walking over to you all, and he looks at those of you, everyone but Eloise, and he says, "I imagine you've gotten the message as well."
We've got a plan. Veil, how many can we take?
I believe 10. Let me double. Maybe 5. Hold on, I'll tell you in a second.
I think it's 9, including yourself. 8
If
or
it's-
9, including yourself.
Actually, if it's teleportation
5.
circle, it's
It's
different.
in yeah. Okay. You cast spell. Draw a 10-foot diameter circle around the described.
I think it's only open for 6 seconds, so it's
Yeah,
harder
so
to
it's
pass through.
however many people can. Here, I'll just throw it up there.
I thought that was tree stride.
No, that's
Same principle.
Any creature that enters the portal instantly appears within 5 feet of the destination circle. So any creature. It's up for 1 round, so 6 seconds.
Oh,
So
okay.
reasonably, you could get a couple dozen if you're timing it just right.
Yeah.
And if you're offering to do that, because Ohm was, if you say, "Hey, I can actually do that," Ohm will look at you, Veil, and nod his head and say, "I think that would actually help us out a lot. I can gather a group of us to be ready. How much time do you need?"
I think it's a minute.
So it takes a minute to cast.
You see him turn and begin to whistle and start yelling and giving orders. And you do see about a dozen or so conclave monks start rushing up towards you, while others also are seeming to prepare similar modes of transportation.
I think Blood will look at his brother and be like, "Are you needed back home? Or do you want to go on an adventure for me this time?"
He seems to be hesitating. He says,
I'll understand if you can't.
I would love to, brother. I'm not going to deny that, but unfortunately, without proper leave, I cannot.
got you.
But
I got you by your short hairs. I understand. Just kind
send
of
me
rib him a little bit.
Send me a message and
will.
let me know what's going on. And as soon as I can, I will ask for permission.
You got it. Hey, give him a quick hug
Yeah,
before he has to be prepared to leave.
he hugs you back and kind of gives you that really hard pat on the shoulder and hugs you a little tightly. And he says, "You don't be a stranger now, brother.
I'm coming back. Don't worry about it."
I'll be looking for you, and I'll be putting the good word out." He hugs you one last time before releasing you and goes to stand next to Kumna, who also gives you a bit of a nod as you prepare to go through Veil's portal.
He's jealous.
Sure, whatever. As Veil begins casting the circle, you see a good dozen or so conclave members, along with Ohm, stepping forward, and he says, "I assume this is going to be over on the 7th floor of the Revancia Conclave portal?"
Right. Should we send a message and ask permission first?
No. They just call us all.
I think we'll be fine.
Okay.
And Vale in his head real quick, he thinks of charging them the 50 gold cost, but then he shakes it off and and tells himself that was the old Veil.
I did donate chalk to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it off my character sheet. I just need to find it.
And as you finish the spell, the circle lights up. The conclave members begin running in as well. You hear Ohm's voice in that last minute yelling to you all, "Prepare yourselves!" before he steps through as well. I assume you all join him.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where we're going to end things for this evening. So, thank you to everyone who watched. We very much appreciate you tuning in. Hang out with us next Monday as we find out what the Faab Five encounter when they arrive in the Conclave in Revancia, in the Kingdom of Hyrule. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be fun. But, once again, on behalf of everyone here in the Faab Five and everyone in the Random Rhapsody crew, I want to say once again, thank you for watching. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next time. Good night.
See you next time.
Peace. I just thought of something. Aren't we under investigation by the guard in Revancia for the shit that we disturbed last time we were there?
Yeah, you are.
We left directly from the conclave.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a thing.
Oh, fucking balls.
Have we been to Revancia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where we had to cause fires with horses through the city to draw the fucking guard away from the Thieves Guild.
No, I thought that was Ranivika.
No, you've never been to
Revancia.
Ranivika. The Debauchery Circus has been to Ranivika, and that's a whole other thing.
Yeah. Pull up the map of Revancia. You can even see the path of our destruction from the fucking horses.
You can
on the map.
Yeah,
because I was like, Revancia. I was like, why is that? Because you said you guys have been there before, and I was like, what the fuck is that one? And I was like, oh shit! As soon as I opened the map.
No, that's where you've all been sending the dream routes.
I believe I have a wanted poster from Revancia.
But anyway, good night, everybody. We're getting out of here.
Fucking balls.